What is up, guys? Happy Friday. Today is back testing Friday, so we're gonna go ahead and continue with this segment. We're gonna go ahead and start off with US30, and then we'll go ahead and continue with some other pairs. But right, guys, this is the move that was caught this week. Did anybody participate in this move with me? I'm just asking, just asking. Let me also resize my screen. Give me a second. Second. Awesome. So dang, no one took this trade, huh? Wow. I know a lot of people were looking in buys for this area. I know a lot of people were looking lower onside lower time frames, right? Inside lower time frames. I know some people were missed. But honestly, for me, I was okay with taking the 4 hour starting point off this area. It gives a clear break of structure to the upside. This push here told me that market was in momentum, right? And usually when you back test when the market is in momentum, when we have small pullbacks like this, right? Usually this is a retest off the break, and then as soon as we get that momentum, the market is like it wants to go now, right? It wants to go. So I had sent in a markup when the market was literally looking like this. The market was literally like this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the chats real quick. This is how I sent it in. You guys see this chart? Give me a one if you guys can see the chart. This is how I sent it, right? I was already looking for buy opportunities. The market was already, it was right here, right? Market was not in our zone. And I sent this like early in the morning. I had just got off the phone and I was looking at charts and just sent it. Um, and whoever took it, whoever woke up in time to take it, was able to take some opportunities. However, like I was in drawdown for a whole day, and then the market ended up going our way. But let's take a look at why I was looking at this. What's good, Brody? What's good? But let's go take a look why I was looking at this, right? But again, guys, this was sent in the levels chat, right? Was sent in the levels chat. A lot of people send in trades in here. This was definitely sent in here, and then I sent in the after. So pretty wild, pretty wild. Hopefully you guys are taking the opportunities. Let's go stop sharing. Let's exit that. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Right. Why were we looking for buys? What is this? Okay. I was like, what? Right. Why were we looking for buys? So let's go ahead. We'll zoom out, hop on higher time frames so we could take a look. Right. Off the rip, guys. Right. Off the rip. Market has been in momentum for the last 3 months, right? April, May, June, July, 4 months, right? Market's in momentum. The market wants to go. Yes, we have zones that I'm waiting for if the market is willing to make its way down here. But sometimes, guys, when the market is in momentum, the market will just go, right? And then it'll come back later, just like this. Market was in momentum. Market was in momentum. Took off. Small retracement, took off. Retracement, took off. Retracement, took off. Retracement, took off. And over and over and over again. And then what happens later? What happens later is the market makes its way, somehow just comes right back down. Massive pump to the downside. So what? Come pick us up. And then continue that shift back up. Right? So this can happen again. This whole scenario right here can happen again. We can have a nice push up, continue to do its thing, couple pushes, right? And then the market in the future can come right back down and pick us up and continue to the upside. Does that make sense? So these zones, they might just be left for the future. There's nothing we can do about that, right? So as soon as we get Yo, what's good? I need to get in the chat. Oh man, that chat is there's requirements to get into that chat. So if you guys would like to get into the levels chat, make sure you hit me up directly, DM me, and I'll go ahead and send you a list. That way we can go ahead and get you into that levels chat because I do have requirements for that. But does this make sense, right? The zones can be left for the future, and people think, wow, the market was bearish. It was heavily bearish. Guys, that's not bearish. The market came back to pick up people in a bullish state and continued its bullish movements. So we can have the same thing happen again. Market can continue, 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 and sometime in the future, make its way back down so we can continue back up. Now, with that being said, knowing that the market likes to do that, once I get confirmation, which was right here, right? Once we got this change of direction confirmation that the market wants to continue looking for buys, I want to start looking for buys. I'm not really looking for the counter trend. I know a lot of people like to counter trend and ping pong the market. I do too, just not how normal people like to ping pong, right? But as soon as we get this confirmation here and we get this change of character, my mind state is literally telling me look for buys only. Look for buys only. I'm not wasting my time with counter trend sales, especially when the market wants to continue going. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. So as I'm looking at that, right, as I'm thinking about this, as we jump down the 4-hour time frame, and I'm gonna break it down super clean for you guys, right? Now, this is what I'm looking at right here, guys. This is what gave you my change of direction. Give me a 5 if you guys are with me. This move right here gave you my change of direction. Okay. Now, there's 2 things that I like to look at when the market is bullish. I like to look for starting points and inverted head and shoulders. Okay. As of right now, my closest starting point is right here. So if the market really wanted to continue off of that zone, I would have been looking to continue off of this. Market comes back and we'll continue off that zone. But for some reason, I didn't think the market was coming back here because the market left a lot of liquidity to the downside, especially with indices. When it leaves equal lows like this, it will come back to pick them up. You have to wait, right? Not saying that these can't give you some profits, right? Market can definitely give you some profits and then just hang out, right? Right. So if this happens, make sure you guys are moving your stop loss to break even, partially in your zone. And if it does end up smacking, it's because the market wants to come back to take this liquidity and come back a bit lower, right? But off of this structure, this is what I was looking at. Notice how we have a sweep of liquidity and a break of structure to the downside, right? And then we get the change of direction. Now, my left shoulder is right here. Now, notice how the market does come back, but it fails to touch my right shoulder. Fails, comes very, very close. But look, note what happens, guys. It comes back, misses my entry, consolidates, and then takes off. What would you call this right here? What would you call this right here, guys? Liquidity. So when you see a zone and the market has barely missed your zone, right? And then it starts to consolidate and leave equal lows and leave liquidity there, and the market takes off, do not chase. Unless the market gives you some opportunities, which it will, right? It can entice you, right? Looks like it gave you a starting point here or just missed a starting point, right? So it will give you opportunities, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people waiting right here, guys. A lot of people. Remember, we're talking about people waiting? I'm right there. Miguel's right there. Nova, Julio, Shani, Juan, right? So there's a lot of people waiting right here to get picked up. Why? Because they see this liquidity. So on this time frame, this is my setup. Not only that, though, guys, if I'm looking at this as a with the big with the mindset of bigger structure, look at this. Resistance. I'm sorry. Support. Support. Liquidity sweep. Did we change direction to the upside? We do. We definitely do. Let's go to a higher time frame so we can see this a bit more clearly. Let's go to the 8 hours so it can be just a bit clearer. Left shoulder, neckline, head, and then as soon as we break and close above this, we definitely change direction. Does that make sense, guys? I know it doesn't happen at this exact candle, but in a couple of candles, it does. So once that happens, right, this whole zone is my left shoulder. And this is my head, which becomes my stop loss, right? So there's plenty of reason for me to continue buys looking down here in this area for sure, right? And then we're in an uptrend. I mean, guys, this is the indices. This isn't that bad of an inverted head and shoulder. If you're looking at it with the big structure, or you're looking at it with the small structure, I mean, that's what we want to see. Sweep of liquidity, the market takes off and leaves your zone. That's exactly what we want to see, right? So let's drop down the lower time frame now. Let's go back to the 4 hour. So let's take a look. This is what I want to do. I want this setup right here. Okay. So let's take a look. Most likely, this reaction that happened right there was for the starting point, but it missed, right? So let's take a look. Consolidation, consolidation. We finally get that break and close above, right? Market didn't like that zone, and that's okay. It is what it is, right? But now look at what happens. The market continues to push up. But what does that leave? What is this, guys? What is the market leaving here? Liquidity. So when the market is leaving liquidity and we know that we're looking and waiting for buys right here, does this make this buy that much more valuable? Yes. When you have to wait for a setup, no matter how long it is, if you have to wait, it is high quality. Now, as soon as we get this change of direction, we have to wait. Well, as of right now, this is 20 days. Are you willing to wait 20 days? Most people can't even wait 20 minutes for a setup. Check me out. A lot of liquidity is being built up right here. Let's continue. Market's hanging out. Market's hanging out. I love this feature, guys, on TradingView. I recommend everybody to use this right here. Find your zones and play around with this, right? This is my stop loss, right? You're going to see money. I don't know how much it's calculating. I didn't change it. It's literally just one. So I don't know how much I will be losing. It looks like it's $600. But let's take a look. How much is this pip was? Oh, yeah. So 0.01. Yeah. So that would be a $600 loss, right? So if you can't trade this on your account, if you can't risk $600 on your account, which most people can't, you need to trade US30 mini. That way this can be $6 or $64, right? Trade the minis. Trade the minis. Right? That's a 1 to 3-ish off my rough algebra readiness math. Boom. Right? This is what I want to see. I've been waiting for this. Now, this is my entry. So from change of direction to entry, it's been 23 days. Guys, if you have to wait for a setup, especially on the indices, bro, it's high quality. That's an A+ setup if you got to wait. Now, let's take a look at what's going down. So right now, I've been practicing. I know in the past, And we're all about evolving, guys, right? We're all about evolving, especially if you're checking your data when you're journaling and you're back testing, right? In the past, I was letting everybody know that we would be breaking even at 1-to-1 and partialing at 1-to-2, and then letting the rest ride to 1-to-3, right? But I've been back testing. I partial out at 1-to-1. And let's actually draw this right here. I've been partialing at 1-to-1 and breaking even at 1-to-2. Right. So actually, let me actually put this down. Oh, snap. And as I'm backtesting this, I'm just seeing crazy results. So I encourage everybody to backtest this as well. Don't just listen to me and be like, okay, Vinny said it, so I'm gonna do it. I mean, yes, right. You should at least start following some people who have some results. But at the end of the day, you should obviously backtest and learn for yourself. See if this is what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I've noticed, you get into some really good trades and the market will come hit your break even once or twice, and then it'll run and just smack your TP. Right? Has that ever happened to anybody? It's been working for me because I've got wicked out at break even. Yeah, right. So I'm tired of getting wicked out, bro, on some really quality setups. And everybody knows what they're willing to risk on a trade, right? If you know what you're willing to risk, like I am personally willing to risk 649 to get 2K. Like I am willing to risk that. Maybe you won't be, but for me, I am. So I need to have good money management and make sure that I'm not interfering with A+ setups, right? No micromanaging. When you're at work, you don't want your boss to micromanage you, right? I already know what I need the trade to do. I know what I need to do money wise. So right now it's at 1-to-1. I'm gonna partial. I don't even know if I could partial less than this. 0.5. I don't even know if it'll let me. But on the mini, I would have been able to partial, right? I've been trying to mark up like you, Vinny, but my scalping habits keep messing me up. Oh man, we gotta hop on a one-on-one, bro. Hit me up for a one-on-one, my boy. Let's get it. Let's lock in. On a mini, I would be able to partial out. So at this point, I should be up at least $400 in the account. Let's go to continue. Oops. So now I could break even. And also, you can also partial if you'd like, right? Why not? Money in your account is never a bad thing, right? Break even. So this is also at break even. Now let's go ahead and continue. But this is the thing, right? Actually, let's just continue with this, and then we'll continue. Let's just watch it hit the TPs. Awesome. Let's go. And I love this feature, guys, because when you use the sell and the buy button, right, it'll tell you what your biggest trade is and what your win rate is, right? So if you have a whole night session with you and the homies or whatever the case may be, right, use the feature so you can see what you need help on. If it says 60%, 30% win rate, well, we need to go ahead and do some studying until we can get better. You know what I'm saying? And it's also going to humble you and it's going to help you get better, guys. So use the feature. I really, really like it. But just off of this, right, let's go back and break this down. Just off of this, I was already expecting momentum because the market left this area in the quickness. The market was jumping, right? So as soon as we got this breaker structure to the upside, maybe it wasn't that one. It was this right here. So now that I seen we get this breaker structure, I had zones already adjusted. I had moved this zone over here to this starting point. So I was already adjusting my zones, right? I had a starting point down here. And because we have structure here, I also had this marked up as well. Right? Very, very small zone. You're like, how is that a starting point? Guys, if you can see structure, higher high, higher low with the breakout and close above this, that is a starting point. Even if it's one candle. The 1 hour, look at that. Is that not better structure for you? Higher high, higher low, breakout rally. Guys, this is my breakout rally right here. Find my starting point. It's literally this last selling candle. My stop loss at the low. Give me a 2 if you guys are with me so far. So this is how I sent it in, right? I had a zone down here and a zone up here. So I was already thinking, look, I low-key think, and as soon as I was looking at this in the morning, like early in the morning, I was like, I think the market's gonna reject. And I know in my head, I know in my head that a lot of people are gonna see this liquidity and they're gonna want to see the market tank lower for news and then continue up. And don't get me wrong, that is also a possibility. And you should be thinking 5 steps ahead, which is why this bottom zone was there, right? But I've been back testing for every day for the past couple months. And I'm telling you guys, when we get this momentum and it's strong, you get these pullbacks and we're continuing and we start to build that liquidity. Oh man, it's setting up. It wants to go because as soon as we clear liquidity to the downside, guys, that's a good sign. That's a good sign for the brand new setup. That's a good sign for the next setup because as soon as we continue up higher, what do we got? What setup is this right here? What do we got right here, guys? The head and shoulder. Yes, sir. We got the head and shoulder. So let's go ahead and take a look. Market's starting to move sideways. Is building liquidity. Awesome. Market's coming to me. Awesome. Perfect. Now, at this point, I had already got in around 8 in the morning on a Wednesday, right? We have this break of structure down here. Yes, we got the BOS to the upside, right? That's what's telling me to look for buys. We have the BOS to the downside. This is my counter trend. Knowing that, this is my change of direction line. I need the market to break and close above that for more buy opportunities. I need to see this so we can start looking for some more buy opportunities. We can continue to shift the market higher. Okay. Now let's take a look. Market was hanging around this zone for a while. So I was in drawdown from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. And then, midday I got out of it. And then market continues. Guys, do we have our change of direction? Did we get the break and close above? Could we now start looking for more buys? Yes. So let's go ahead. We can affirm this. Right? This zone is good. I should have played this. I'm gonna replay it back so we can do the money management and all that good stuff. That's a Himothy setup. It is a Himothy setup. It's a nice setup. All right. So boom. Let's go and buy it. My stop loss is at the low. 1 to 3. All right, let's go ahead and put our zones. 1 to 1. All right. 1 to 1 is partial. 1 to 2 is break even. 1 to 3, we let the rest ride. Right? We let the rest ride. So let's go ahead. Awesome. So at this point, I should be able to partial out. Obviously, if you were on the mini, this would work a lot better. I'm up 400. So at this moment, I should be up 200 in my account. And I should have 200 and the trade still letting the rest ride. Now I had just hit break even, so I now have to adjust my stop loss from the negative to break even or slightly into positive, right? Now let the rest ride, do its thing. The market did its thing, back to back. Give me an 8 if this is making sense, guys. Give me an 8 if this makes sense. Awesome. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go, guys. If you guys have any questions, please unmute. Drawdown makes me nervous. I always close it, not I always close it to not go up on a bigger to not go on bigger drawdown and then end up negative for the day. Yeah, guys, you can't be scared of drawdown. You know, it's okay for it to make you nervous a little bit. If it does make you nervous, it might be because you're over leveraging a little bit. Let's go, Julio. It might be because you're over leveraging a little bit, or maybe just because you're not used to losing money like that. You know, maybe it's just not part of what you do. You know, maybe you're not a gambler. You just not used to just throwing money out and, not getting it back. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. So you have to get used to that stuff. For me, guys, one thing you have to learn about me and my trading style, and this is just something that I just adapted over time with back testing and being in the markets for the last 4 years, is I'm personally not worried about catching the snipe. Like I know a lot of people, guys. I know a lot of people who just missed this opportunity down here because they were looking to catch the snipe, right? And I get it. I had my zone right there too. But honestly, I've been comfortable finding higher time frame zones because this is a lower time frame zone, right? But we go to the one more time frame higher. This is literally a good zone we can use. And I've seen time and time again when the market has touched it and takes off and it'll leave this zone, it'll just leave it. And I've seen time and time again when the market will go in a bit deeper, miss this zone, and then take off. And then there's, a couple of times where the market will touch this zone and then take off. So for me, I'm not really worried about the snipe as long as I know I have the right bias. And technically, I'm able to jump in from this range, to this range, technically, because of my starting point. Does that make sense? From starting point to stop loss, I'm able to start participating into this trade. So for me, I'm not really worried about catching snipes. I want to get into good opportunities so I can continue to ride this wave. So if you guys take my trades and you're like, damn, this motherfucker's in drawdown for a whole day, just wait. If it doesn't hit your stop loss, just wait. Because there's a good opportunity. We're going to continue the next day, a day or two, continuing up. That's the thing, guys, right? A lot of you guys expect the market to go in your profit, go profit right away. As soon as the market hits your entry. And a lot of the times, yes, that happens, but on the lower time frames. When you guys scalp, market's going to hit your zones and then it's going to take off. Why? Because things happen quickly. When you participate on the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the daily, the market will definitely hang out inside your zone for a day, possibly two, and then go your way. Okay, that's normal. So if that happens, if I send something on the 1 hour, 4 hour, or daily, and the market's in drawdown, but it hasn't hit your stop loss, guys, it's okay. Don't overthink. Put an alert at your stop loss and put your alert at 1-to-1 so you can at least take partials. Right now, the idea of this, right? Let me just break this down. We have 30 minutes. This is great. So the idea of this, right, guys? Exactly. And that's what I use. Like, and in my head, bro, you don't even know like how many times I'm like, bro, it's risk to award. It's risk to award. It's okay. You can take a loss. You can take a loss. Like, guys, it's okay to tire yourself that, especially for me, bro. Like, I grew up playing baseball. And when it comes to baseball, if you're a Hall of Famer, most Hall of Famers are batting 300, 350. A 400 is a good stretch, right? Now, what does that mean? What does batting 300, what does batting 400 even mean? What that means, if you're batting at 300, that means out of every 10 at-bats, you hit the ball 3 times. Out of every 10 at-bats, you hit the ball 4 times. If you can do that, guys, in baseball, if you can hit the ball 3 to 4 times out of 10 at-bats, you're a Hall of Famer. That means you're like one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. So for me, I have that. It's okay. You can take a loss. The same thing in baseball, bro. Like you already know every game you have 4 at-bats. You're not gonna hit the ball 4 times. That's a mental thing. Hit the ball, try to put it in play, and if you can get on base, you can get on base to help your team. Same thing with this. If you can catch a trade, have good money management so you can help yourself. And it's okay to take a loss. Just bounce back for the next at-bat, for the next trade. Gosh darn it. All right, so let me give you the idea of why partialing at 1-to-1 and then breaking even at 1-to-2 could be something you can start practicing. That way you don't have to feel pressure, guys, of always having to like win. Like guys, if I don't have pressure, bro, trust me, you guys should not have pressure because it's a numbers game, right? It's about running your odds, and if you can run your odds with proper risk to reward with continuing the trend, I honestly believe everybody's gonna have good odds. Back test it, bro. Back test. That's all I'm gonna start saying for the rest of the year. Back test it. You guys are gonna get so annoyed at me, I swear. Back test it. You have a question, back test it. Y'all gonna get annoyed, but you guys are gonna get better. Swear. So look, check me out, guys. Let's say the market hits my entry, right? Boom, puts me in this opportunity, and then puts me in profit, right? So for my entry to my stop loss, let's just say it's $100. Give me a 2 if you guys are with me right now. Awesome. 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 So from entry to stop loss, right? It's $100. From entry to TP1 to my partial zone, it's $100. Right? So if I take partials and close out 50 and put that into my account, I leave 50 on the playing field. Right? So if the market ends up going my way and I'm able to take partials and then hits my stop loss, it's pretty much canceling out that partial. It breaks even in itself. Does that make sense? Give me a question mark if that makes sense. Because I feel like I made that shit sound way more complicated than I needed to be. So check me out. I'm gonna try to make this shit make sense. Hold on. All right. So from my entry to my stop loss, it's $100 that I'm risking. Right? From entry to partial zone, it's $100 that I'm risking. Right? So instead of just breaking even and moving my stop loss to break even like this and getting putting myself at risk to get actually stop loss at break even, what I want to do is just partial out. So let's just say I'm up $100 at this point. The market went up and I'm up $100 here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna partial out 50. I'm gonna partial out half of it, put some money in my trading account, and leave this risk at $50. It was at 100, but since I took out 50, the risk is 50. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, JQ? Here, let's just do it like this. All right, let's do it like this. Let's just let's cancel this out so you guys can see the numbers. That way you guys can be like, oh, okay. Let's buy it. Then I have my stop loss. So my stop loss right here is 218. So right here, this is around two. I need this at 218, right? So I'm gonna go ahead. All right, cool. So when you break even, you basically took your profits already, and now you only risk half. Yeah, exactly. And if it hits your stop loss, it pretty much takes back the money that you won, right? So it pretty much already breaks even. So look, let's go ahead and check it out. So I'm up right now. You didn't move your stop loss. Yeah, no, I didn't. That's what I'm saying, right? If I'm up, let's move it back right here. Next candle. Oh, why did it do that? My stop loss is here. All right. So look, market has already touched my partial point. My risk was 212. Am I up at least 212? Let me know, guys, because I need this to make sense. My risk on this trade was $212. Right now, I'm in profit at least $308. Right. So if I take that in half, if I split 306 in half, that leaves me with 150, 153 in my trading account and 153 for my stop loss. But I'm gonna leave my stop loss here. And I'm not gonna move my stop loss to break even until this gets hit. Right. So as of right now, this should already be at 153 and this should be at 153. Now, if the market ends up coming back down and hitting my stop loss, then it pretty much cancels out the profit that I took. It's just gonna take back the money and it pretty much breaks even. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, JQ? So it's giving our trade room to play. And I've been back testing this. Back test this. Don't just trust me. Like back test this, right? It's giving your trade room to play. Because what if the market hits your partial point, and then we go boom, market touches your zone, and then we're back in the profit. And then boom, we touch your zone and we're back in the profit. And then look what happens. Market takes off. But if you would have switched these, maybe you switched it like this. You know what? I'm gonna break even. And again, nothing's wrong with it, right? You're gonna practice and do what you like. But what if you're in profit? You know what? It's time to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even. Market hits your break even, and then the market goes your way. So for me, I want to stop that. I want to prevent that from happening. And you guys always hear me say a lot of things in the market you guys can eliminate, you guys can take away. For me, this is how I take away getting stopped out at break even so often. Does that make sense? I'm trying to eliminate the little things. I'm like all the tedious stuff, right? All the stuff that makes you overthink and I got hit stop loss break even. I have to find another opportunity right here so I can catch the move, or else I can't catch it. Or I got to catch the opportunity right here, or else I can't catch it. No, I don't want to have to overthink so many times. Like I already found an A+ setup. I'm gonna back test swapping these around and see how that works. And honestly, it's been working a lot. So I encourage everybody to back test that for sure. Let's go ahead. Do you use Trade Locker, bro? Match trader. Dog, get with the times, dog. Gotta kick that shit to the curb, my boy. Nah, I use Trade Locker, bro. Nah, I use Trade Locker. I like how they have a feature on Trade Locker where it allows you to calculate your trade on the app. So the app already has your account balance, right? Because your account is linked to Trade Locker. And then it'll ask you to, risk. What do you want to risk? 1%, 2%, 3%. You go ahead and type it in and it does the math for you lot size wise, right? So for me, I love Trade Locker for that reason specifically. Who's your broker for Trade Locker at the moment? At the moment, guys, I'm using KOT, KOT Forex. You guys can check that out. Make sure you guys do your own research on that. Don't just hop on there because the boy Vinny's using KOT. Make sure it has everything that you need for yourself to feel comfortable into, you know, putting some money in there so you can feel comfortable trading, right? Do your own research on that. But right now I am using KOT. And it's been around for a minute. It's been around for like, you know, 5 to 10 years. And I know a lot of people who have been using it. I have not used it prior to using it now. And as of right now, everything has been solid. No, it is not, Joy. It is not. So, like I said, do your research. Okay. Do your research. Make sure you feel comfortable. Right. I also have a forex.com account that is regulated. Been around for damn near like 15, 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but you can only trade forex pairs on those accounts. But again, regulated, safer, a lot safer. Okay. So make sure you guys do your own research when it comes to any broker, guys. Doesn't matter if it's regulated, unregulated. Make sure you guys do your research. You need to feel comfortable in depositing money into a company's account so you can trade. You need to feel comfortable, right? Don't do it because I feel comfortable. No, you need to feel comfortable. Okay. So AUDUSD. In my opinion, AUDUSD was one of the nastiest trades of the week. That and NZDUSD. When it comes to swings, especially like guys, look at this structure here. Look at this freaking structure here. We have consolidation, massive consolidation. We're on the daily time frame. Daily time frame. I know a lot of people are participating in this liquidity. A lot of people, right? What do we get, guys? Would you consider this a break of structure to the downside? I know, Jose. I know you're participating in it, bro. But you've been back testing with me, and you're not going to be back participating in that no more. You woke up, my boy. Right? We have a break of structure to the downside. We have a change of direction. Guys, as soon as we get this confirmation here, what should we be looking for? I need everybody to know this. As soon as we get the change of direction to the upside, what should we be looking for? Let's go, George. Let's go. As soon as we get this change of direction, we should be looking for buys. Yes, the market does make some liquidity and it does, you know, make some trend line liquidity, but it is giving you opportunities and the market is still trending higher. Now, again, and I've said this time and time again, with big setups like this, with massive head and shoulders on higher time frames like this, usually what happens is the market will change direction, build liquidity. Sometimes it'll take off. So you can forget about this zone. And then in the future, you know what happens? Smack. And then we're coming right back to pick this up. And then we're taking off to continue going higher. Right. So that's why for me, I want to continue looking for buys. And I'll just worry about the sells when they come. You know, whenever that happens, whenever the sells come for my buys down here, then I'll, you know, start adjusting. But as soon as I get this confirmation, I just want to look for buys, guys. I don't want to fight the trend at that point. Right now, for me, I was looking for something that looked like an inverted. Right now, I was looking for this structure here because I see that we do break structure to the upside. Oh, I guess we don't on that time frame. Do we on the? Yes. So on the daily, we do. And on the daily, at the time, right, this is my starting point. And obviously, what happens? We hit stop loss. Right? We hit stop loss. Okay. Especially with spread, most likely you hit stop loss. But does the zone violate, or did it pick your pockets and then go your way? Did it violate the whole zone and disrespect it, or did it pick your pockets and then continue your way? It picked your pockets, unfortunately. And sometimes that happens when you're participating in liquidity. Sometimes that happens, right? It got me from my $3. Hey, my boy, we're going to make that back. You feel me? We're going to make that back. Don't trip. He said, damn. Got my boy for his $3. That's funny as hell. But it held up and continued going higher. So I want to go ahead and drop down and see what kind of structure did we leave in here. This is what I'm seeing. Break a structure to the downside. and then we change direction to the upside. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust. I'm just going to keep moving my zones. I like to keep things fresh. I don't like to leave things there. Right. So this zone had already gotten played off of already before, for sure. Right now, I wasn't really looking to play off of this zone specifically, but I was looking to see if it was going to be respected. You know what I've seen lately with some trades, that there will be a candle that leaves a big wick. Is that for the masses to come back for people's money? Um, Usually a big wick. What do you mean exactly? Because I mean, there's kind of big wicks everywhere. That are you talking like that wick came to pick up big people's money? If that's what you mean, like that big wick came to pick up people's money, then yes. Usually that's what happens. For sure. But look at this structure, guys. This I would have been hesitant to. I mean, I didn't even take this one to be honest with you. I would have been hesitant because we had already tapped in here, but at the same time, this still looks like a lot of liquidity. So I had kept that in mind, right? I had kept that in mind. Now I was like, if the market can respect this, what do I want to see? Now, obviously, if I want the market to respect this, guys, as the market is dropping down to my zones, what do I need to do? What do I need to do, guys? As the market is dropping down to my zone, what do I need to do in order for me to stay accurate? I need to adjust my lines. Now, notice how I have a breaker structure here. Oops. BOS of the downside here. And my change of direction would be right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to adjust. This zone was respected. Okay, cool. That's fine. I wasn't really looking to take this trade based off of the it was already tapped into, but I wanted to see if it was going to be respected for another trade setup in the future, and it did. BOS, change of direction. We now have our brand new trade setup for the future. As soon as we got this, we can now start looking for more buys so we can continue higher. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just move it over. Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. We already took all this stuff out. There's nothing there anymore. It's either this zone right here or much lower, because what do we have? We have a whole lot of liquidity being built up right now. This is the closest buy zone. The market's either going to respect this zone and go higher, or it's going to disrespect this zone, and we're now coming for lower zones to eventually go higher, right? Let's see what Fernanda has. Let's see. I wonder what this zone is. I want to see what that zone is. But I do like this structure that has definitely that you're drawing out right here. Breaker structure, breaker structure, breaker structure. I'm not sure exactly what this zone is to the left, but it definitely got some respect. And you're actually putting your stop loss in the right places. This I would have used this because on a lower time frame, that would be a pullback there. But that's definitely fire. Let's AUDUSD. Let's drop down. Let's take a look real quick. Smacking. Smacking. Let's see, what time frame was that? 2 hours. Let's go to hold on. Was that right here? Where was that? Where was that, bro? Is that down here? Nah, it has to be like right here somewhere. Let me look it on the 2 hour real quick. I'm lost, bro. Okay. I'm just trying to take a look. Fernando, if you can show me what this zone is, I would love to see what this zone is right here. If you can send a link, that would be great. But I do like it. I do definitely like the momentum. I also want to take a look at what's right here. Because on the 2 hour, we don't have no starting point. But if we drop down to the 1 hour, let's see what we have. There might be something. Actually, it's right here. And it actually ends up getting clapped a little bit. But nonetheless, AUDJPY definitely got some heavy momentum for sure. Let's see. But now look at guys. Here's a question, right? We have possible buys down here. I'm definitely liking buys down here for sure. Definitely liking buys down here. But here's the question, right? I have a question for you guys. On the 4 hour time frame, we also have a starting point right here. We have a BOS. We have an opportunity right here. Now look at that. It looks like market could be taken off. That's a nasty wick. That's a nasty wick. Guys, what should I be doing as the market is dropping down to me? What is the market? What should I be doing, guys? As the market is dropping down, what should I be doing? Marking up my BOSs and my change of direction. That's my bearish BOS. Right now, this is my change of direction. Let's take a look. Uh-oh, did not change direction. Okay, now let's see if it changes direction now. Let's see if it changes direction now. Did not change direction. Let's continue to adjust. Let's continue to adjust. Let's continue because the market is bullish right now. We don't want to miss it. We're either waiting down here, we're standing on business down here, right? We have the whole squad. We got myself, Fernandez locked and loaded, Nova, the boy Jose's been back testing, feeling confident, JQ, George, Anthony. Everybody's waiting down here, standing on business, or we're waiting for this change of direction to appear so we can now start looking for more buys. Give me a 3 if that makes sense. We're either waiting here or we wait for a brand new setup. Okay, let's take a look. No, it does not happen. We continue to adjust. We continue to adjust. Okay, cool. Let's see. That is live price right now. That is live price right now. So if the market by next week, we end up and closing above this, market is ready to continue going higher. Let's go ahead and start looking for some buy opportunities. Give me a 3 if that makes sense, guys. Any questions before we hop off? Any questions at all? What's up, Gonzalo? The boy Gonzalo, haven't seen that dude in a minute. Miss you, my boy. Miss you. Any questions, guys, for the night before we hop off? Let me know, family. What's up, George? I never use trend lines, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. The only time I use trend lines are for liquidity. So if you can see trend lines, all right, let the silence speak volumes. If you can see the trend line, what does that tell you, George? That you can see the liquidity. So if you can see the liquidity, why do you want to participate in the liquidity? Does that make sense? Does that make sense, bro? And I'm not saying, again, like I'm not saying you can't counter trend and do all that good stuff, but like I said, like if you can see structure, I would much rather you use structure, right? Like I can see this right here. I can see this trend line, right? I can see this trend line, but look, what if somebody is trying to sell off of this just because they can see the trend line? We're all looking for buys, right? At some point, this trend line is going to get clapped. And that's when we all hop in and start continuing to the upside, right? Again, not to say that it can't happen, not to say that you can't catch a starting point, right? This is your starting point counter trend. I would rather you look for counter trends using starting points. If you're going to counter trend, use the starting points as breakage structures, right? That's a BOS. This is my last buying candle. That's my starting point. This is my breakage structure to the downside. This is my last buying candle. Boom. Why do you think that this trend line is trend lining so well, George? Bro, it's respecting structure like I've been teaching you. Breakage structure to the downside. Where's my last buying candle? Right here. Oh, snap. Breakage structure to the downside. Where's my last buying candle? Boom. So this is the last starting point. Notice how this one was respected. This one was respected. This one was respected. This one was respected. This is the very last starting point that needs to be respected in order for the market to change direct or continue back down. I'm sorry. In order for the market to continue back down. This is the very last one, and then we can continue down. If this starting point does not get respected, then what do we have? Change of direction. Let's start looking for buys and shift that market higher. Give me a 3 if that makes sense, guys. Yadi, let's go. I'm glad you're able to have some clicking moments. Love it. Okay, I found it. It was a left shoulder from a previous play. Got you. I want to take a look at that, actually. Because low-key, violations be smacking. Got you. Yeah, so that was a violation. That was actually a key level in the market. But that key level was so good that it actually ended up just bouncing off it again. So for like future reference, and I know you like to leave your markups there to show you, what you had previously did. But notice how we have a shoulder here, head, change of direction. As soon as we actually hit stop loss, I would have used either this buy or this buy, and then I would have deleted that zone after catching one of these two, right? So just to keep that for the future reference, having a previous, like a super far previous zone can sometimes get you cluttered. But because this was actually a super solid, how would I say it? Like it's literally a key level in the market. Notice how it's bouncing above. We break below, we bounce below. We break and close above, we bounce above, bounce above, bounce above. We break below, we bounce above. It's literally a key level in the market. That's why this trade here was actually able to have some success. But personally, I would rather just stay accurate to the market, just how everything in here looks. This is perfect. That's fire. So yeah, just so you guys know in the future, once you're able to get a violation play, once we hit stop loss and it comes back here or here, boom, you're able to take a buy off that and then go ahead and scratch this play. We can now just use fresh market structure. But yeah, that's just a tip. I mean, again, like that stuff like that, guys, that you won't know unless you send markups in, and ask her questions, and it does look like she even was able to catch the buy here. It looks like, boom, this, it does look like she was able to catch it and hit TP. So fire, that's fire. It was played exactly how it should have been. And again, if you don't send in your charts just to get a little bit of feedback, you don't get a little like these tips to help you advance. So shout out to you for feeling comfortable and sending in your markups, for sure. But with that being said, guys, I always learn something new in your class, bro. Thank you. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for doing yourself a solid justice and hopping on here and stepping up for you guys. And that's what it is, guys. Like, I mean, I can sit here and talk about trades and charts until I'm blue in the face, but you guys showing up for you speaks way more volume than me speaking the value into you guys. You guys want to be here. You guys want to get better. Those who ask questions and send in your charts, you guys want to get better. And honestly, everybody who has been sending in charts and asking questions, I can actually see a lot of growth from you guys, which is honestly just crazy to see. I love to see it. I tell Miguel and Fernando all the time that I love seeing you guys grow. I love it. because it for me, I feel like everybody can do this. I believe everybody can do this as long as they give some effort and they focus up a little bit. And I know a lot of you guys believe it too, because a lot of you guys started off not knowing anything, and now look at you guys. You guys are freaking clapping the markets, you know. So I know everybody can do it on this call. All 27 of you. I know everybody can get this going, can get the snowball effect, can start getting this trading going no matter what strategy you choose, whether it's smart money or levels, right? But I know you guys can get it. And it's just about taking that one decision and locking in for yourself because we're all young, man. We're all young. We're all under 30. I mean, I'm touching it. You know, I'm like knocking on the door, bro. Like I need some Bengay for my elbows and my knees, bro. I got arthritis, carpal tunnels kicking in, my boy. I'm gonna start smelling like some lotion very soon. Crazy out here for the boy. But we're all young, man. You know, Shawnee, we young at heart. We young at heart, you feel me? I feel you. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're young, dude. Like we have all these years ahead of us. Like, let's get it in. Let's get it in now so we can help people that we want to help. Always go back to your whys, guys. Always go back to your whys. And if you guys understand a strategy, whether it's smart money or levels, guys, there comes to a point where an extra video, an extra um go live, whatever the case may be. Sometimes, yes, the value is there. Do not get me wrong. The value will always be there. But sometimes just watching an extra video to find that one piece of value that's going to get you over the hump, sometimes it doesn't happen, guys. Why? Because in this game, it's about repetition. So once you guys understand your strategy inside and out, you know exactly what you got to do next. Take the reps, back test it, take the reps. You guys have to. You guys have to take the reps, back test it, guys. That's gonna get you over that hump. Not me hopping on these calls every Monday and Friday. Not you hopping on go live every day for the next 3 or 4 years. The value will be there, but you have to put in the reps, guys. Number one, proud of everybody on this call. Everybody has been kicking ass. Everybody's been taking everything serious, and I'm proud of everybody. I cannot wait what the next 6 months of this year looks like for you guys. At the end of the year, at the beginning of 2026, guys, everybody should be a fat leap ahead in their trading career. And it starts now. Don't start when you're at 2 months left in the year, the last month left, trying to get it in before the year ends. It starts now, guys. Let's get it in. Let's finish strong. But with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. Back test, sending your charts, get busy, get better, and I will see you guys on Monday. Let's get it.